2 days ago, I posted a video and I told you guys I'm learning Japanese and I plan to pass N2 examination in 7 or 8 months. Today, I would like to share with you how I plan to learn this language and what is the most important part. No matter what language you are learning, I suppose you can find some inspiration from today's video. Vocabulary is always vital, but you need to distribute your time on different categories. For example, I will focus on nouns and adjectives at the first beginning. If I'm going to remember the nouns, firstly, I will choose those words, closely related to our daily life, like cars, trees, hospital, banks, those words, because when I'm sitting on the bus, in the taxi, every time when I sit, I will recall those words. That's really efficient. For adjectives, my suggestion is you'd better memorize those adjectives in the sentences. For example, you're going to say, this street is really lively. この通りは賑やかです. If you want to say this city is really quiet, この街はとても静かなです. I understand I'm going to make some mistakes. However, this is a way for you to memorize these two categories. No matter what language you're learning, verbs are most crucial part. However, verbs are supposed to, change forms under the different tenses and the different scenarios. When I was learning German, memorizing those different forms of verbs could be really torturing. That was really hard. So I will just let it go. I will not pay special attention to verbs. This is my strategy. The second part is grammar. Grammar is just like the instruction book. If you buy a machine, first of all, you have to see the instruction book, right? Otherwise, you don't know how to operate this machine. You don't know how it will function. So grammar is very important. That's why I go to the language school. Having a teacher sometimes could be more convenient and more effective. That is my choice. For grammar, you have to make sure you will be fully understanding why and how. You have to compare, the different languages, the different mentalities and mindsets. For the same thing, different languages, usually they're going to have the different ways of describing it. But understanding, is quite easy. You have to do a lot of exercises. So every night, except for weekends, I will spend half an hour or 1 hour, doing those exercises to make sure that I know exactly how to use this grammar. When you can remember probably 1,500 or 2,000 words, and you can reach the middle level intermediate, that means for most of the grammars or common grammars you will be understanding, then you will find two things. First of all, you can speak some short sentences. You can describe some things, in your daily life. That's not hard. The second thing is reading is not so scary. When you're reading the article on the internet or in papers, you can understand parts of it. So then you will find your confidence will be boosted. This positive feedback is crucial for learning a language. So if I reach the middle level intermediate, I will choose to do another thing, that is to watch TV series. I want to get used to the intonation and the rhythm, how the native speakers speak this language, and I can learn some, authentic proverb, idiom, or slang. That's also very important. However, at the early stage, I will not prioritize the listening. Understanding, reading, listening are two ways of imputing, and they are both very important. However, for a language learner, reading is easier. Listening requires a more comprehensive ability, familiarity of words, of grammar, of nearly everything. So my choice is, I will do more reading rather than listening. If you reach the higher intermediate, I suppose you have to spend maybe 70% or 80% of your time and your energy, on listening. Lastly, I would like to emphasize the importance of the schedule. At the first beginning, you will be really passionate. You will be extremely enthusiastic. You would like to do it 24 hours. However, that's not healthy. So my plan is I will have the first 40 days as my phase 1. During these 40 days, I will learn this language 24/7, except for weekends. I will take a break. After 40 days, I will take a long break, probably 1 month or 2 months. You don't have to be anxious. You don't have to worry about you will forget everything. You will not forget. So I hope today's video could be really inspiring and informative. No matter what language you're learning, I hope you guys can find some suggestions from today's video. This is Lando. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.